back. My next guest was a golf pro for 20 years. He's now a golf commentator for CBS Sports. He's also the author of this new book, David Feherty's Totally... David Feherty's Totally Subjective History of the Ryder Cup. Please welcome David Feherty. Thank you for being here, David. You know what's the most interesting thing? You look through this book and you realize that you're a golf commentator, yet you're very public about the fact that you hate golf.
Oh, yes.
Well, why take the job if you hate golf?
Oh, we're taking the job. I mean, ask Pat Summerall.
Right.
Really? You think he likes football?
Oh, you don't think he likes football?
Well, I mean, it's not that I hate golf. I don't like playing it. Pat Summerall would get his ass kicked out there.
Right.
Clearly. It's like an old guy, you know?
Right. So that wouldn't... We'll save that. I don't want to fight him. You fight him. So you're commentating on a sport that you despise.
No, I don't really despise the sport so much as, you know, playing it just pisses me off. I don't mind talking about it, and the fact that I get to, you know, watch the greatest players in the world. I mean, I'm out there with Tiger Woods, man, you know. It's like, you know, the crowd is usually pretty interesting as well.
Right. So you find things to enjoy, even though playing, you played the game for 20 years. Did you hate it then, the whole time you were playing?
Usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually. But you see, most people that play golf, you see them, do they look like they're enjoying themselves when they're out there? No, they're not. I mean, they're out there like, damn!
Yeah,
you know,
right.
You know, like whacking things.
Right. That makes sense. Now, I'm curious, you use a lot of Irish slang. You're from Northern Ireland, is that correct?
Yes.
You use a lot of Irish slang in your commentating. Do people understand what you're talking about when you do that?
No, I really don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
So you hate the sport, and no one understands you when you talk about it.
Exactly, yes.
This is a wonderful combination.
Isn't this a great country?
Yeah.
Huh? Hey, but you know,
so give me an example of something where you're talking and you use it. What's an Irish slang word that you use? That
well, we tend to name people after vegetables. You know, like a complete onion. Really.
Someone's an onion, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be more of a radish.
I'm a radish.
Yeah.
That means what does that mean?
Well, I don't really know. I mean, there's a connection. Yeah, again.
And you also use phrases and you don't know what they mean. Good.
Yes.
We're getting an impressive list here.
It's exactly. I don't understand half of what Rule is saying either, but I like the music, you know?
You like the music,
yeah.
Right. So you listen to rap, but you don't know what's happening.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But then I'm Black Irish.
Yeah.
You probably noticed. Yeah.
You guys have a lot in common, yeah.
Yeah, well, I got the dark skin, but really a small wiener, which is not a, you know...
Well, yes, of course. I got the...
He knows exactly what I'm talking about, see?
So the darker-skinned Irish, yes, and the lighter-skinned Irish have the...
That's exactly where I was going. I feel you.
Let me ask you a question. This is just completely off topic, but growing up, my mother would always use this Irish phrase that was passed down generation. If we were being bad kids, she'd say, "You're being a bold stump. Stop being a bold stump." Is that have you heard that in Ireland?
A bold wee stump.
A bold, yeah, bold wee stump. What does that mean? Why would you call someone a bold wee stump?
Well, a stump is something that's not grown yet, or maybe has grown and been cut down. You know, so it's growing up in Ireland. You know, you're lucky if you manage it. So, you know, you're a wee stump. A bold wee stump would be rude or, you know, belligerent or, you know...
I was all of those things.
Yes,
I was
exactly.
rude and belligerent.
Yeah.
But I had a huge...
Yeah.
You talk about, you like to give us a little behind-the-scenes insight on what's happening, you know, with pro golf. And you say that Gold Bond medicated powder is the miracle drug of golfers.
Yes.
Why? How do they use Gold Bond medicated powder? Why is it so important?
More important than penicillin. It really is. It's because in a walking sport where, you know, and golfers don't really have to be particularly athletic. You probably notice that some of them out there, you know, I mean, aren't exactly, you know, in sprinter shape.
Right.
But, and myself, as a perfect example of it, you know, I'm out there, and in a walking sport, you tend to get that little chafing thing going if you're a little... you know, whatever, right at the top, you know, you're not familiar with it, right here. Riley knows exactly what I'm talking about. But gold bond powder is that...
John C. Reilly will never return to our show.
Medicated stuff, you know, if you apply it properly
problem.
Yeah.
to the area which might be affected, there are kind of 3 stages of it. First of all, I mean, you apply it obviously in the groin area and all around here.
You
know,
don't have to
it's
touch
like
it now. You can just tell us.
No.
Groin area is fine.
But it's like a peppermint patty at first. You know, it's like, ooh, that's cool.
Well, why not just shove a peppermint patty down there, then?
Yeah, really.
You thought about doing that?
I've actually tried that. It's a little sticky. The first thing, it's a powder to start off with. After you've been walking, you've been out there sweating for a little while, it turns into a paste. And then when you come in and you sit down,
yeah.
and you're in air conditioning, if you sit still for long enough, it turns into a plaster cast.
Really?
Yeah, really. If you make a mistake of sitting there for 10 minutes, you can break it off. It's like the Olympic torch. You know, it's an exact plaster cast of your, you know...
I'm picturing that exactly.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, the Olympic torch.
Really. Very important drug.
This is the...
No, the caddies, they sell it, you know.
I want to know what the caddies do.
It's about $250 for an air ball.
Yeah. Okay. This is the worst conversation on golf in the history of the game, and we have you to blame for it. David Feherty's totally subjective history of the Ryder Cup is in stores now. It's always delightful when you're here. Please come back soon. David Feherty, you're a good man.
Thanks.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back. All right, that's our show. Do want to thank my guest, David Feherty. That was hilarious. Please come back soon. I love having you on the show. Big thanks to Ja Rule for being here.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
John C. Reilly's final appearance. He's never going to darken my door again. Of course, Max Weinberg and the Max Weinberg 7. Stick to the last call with Carson Daly. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.